Hello, I'm going to show you how to work with different kind of data types in Python. The ones we'll be covering will be integers, floats, strings, and booleans. First, we'll start with the simplest in my opinion. We're going to start with the boolean. So we're going to do bool t equals capital T and then finish off the word of true. So that's a boolean, right? So we can also do this with false. So we'll do bool f equals false. So what's interesting is that booleans only have a true or false value. They cannot be a number, they can't be a word other than true or false. So that makes them simple. So now we're just going to do a little bit of messing around with these. So we're going to do bool t equals, which is equal to bool f. And now we got false because they do not equal each other. But I can do bool t equals true, and then it says it's true because true is the value of bool t. And this also works with bool false. So we'll do bool f equals false. And it says it's true. But what if we do bool t equals false? But now it's false because true does not equal false. So we'll just print out the values of these variables really quick. So bool t, well, I'm sorry, these data types. Bool t equals true and bool f equals false. Now let's talk about strings. So a string is any assortment of characters in a format that you cannot do any math processing. So we're going to do string equals, you can do a pair of double quotations or a pair of single quotations. You cannot mix and match. So we're going to choose to do two double quotations side by side, and right in the middle, we're going to type in, this is a string. And I've created a string, so I'll type in string, the command line, and it returns, this is a string. Now we're going to check the type of this. So we're going to do type, parentheses, we're going to type in string in the middle. And it says it's a class str, which means it's a string. So type is really useful. It tells you the type of a variable. We can also do this with type bool t. And it says class bool t is in fact a bool. Now we're going to do integers. Integers are cool. So we're going to type in int. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to type in integer equals 1. We type in the value of integer. When we type in integer, it returns the value of 1. Now while doing this, we can use type integer. And it'll tell us it's a class int type. So what can we do with integers? Well, we can add and subtract. But there's another data type I'd like to explain. That's a float. So we're going to name it flow. I'm going to do equals, and we're going to do 9.0. It will put out the type of flow, and it says flow is a class float. So what's the difference between the integer and the float? Well, and simply put, floats are used for more accuracy, while integers are not. Integers are only whole numbers, and they will never have a decimal placement, meaning that it's only going to be one whole of itself without any remainder. But what can we do with these? Well, we can do flow, you can do minus integer. and it's 8.0. So why does this work? Well, because floats and integers can do math with each other, I can take a whole number and subtract a float by it. And I can also do vice versa. I can take a float and subtract it from a whole number. So where would I find a use for floats? So let's just say I'm trying to calculate how much money I have. I can have $9.50 with a float. However, with an integer, it will round up from the nearest to nearest tenth. 10, right? So nearest whole number. So if I have $9.50 as a float, I now have $10 as an integer. So it really doesn't make it very accurate if I use integers over floats. So what if my string nu is equal to the value of 1? Well, because it's a string and not an integer or a float, I can't subtract that from it.